Hello, everyone, and welcome to Partner Day on Canvas Live. Canvas Live sessions are presented by Canvas community members, Instructure employees, or Canvas partners, and our goal is to help Canvas users improve and enhance their teaching and learning with Canvas. We are delighted to kick off Partner Day today with Troy Anderson, Senior Director of Partnerships at Instructure. Troy will give us the keynote presentation for Partner Day, and please feel free to post your questions in the chat area of the YouTube Live event. We will get to as many questions as we can before we end the presentation, but if we don't, we're going to encourage you to post your follow-up questions in the event page, and we'll put a link to that event page in the chat area of YouTube Live. And with that, I'm delighted to turn the microphone over to Troy.
Awesome. Thanks for the warm introduction, Stephanie. Welcome, everybody. We're super excited that you're here on Partner Day with Canvas Live, and I feel honored to have the ability to kick things off. I'll start with the message that you see on your screen right now. We're better together. This is not just a catchphrase or something of partnership for us. This is the reality that we live every day. And as you'll see as I go through my presentation today, it's more than just us working with other organizations. It's also about the customers, all of you who are leveraging the resources that we put out there and the resources that interoperate so well together as a result of our open ethos, our open ecosystem, and our partners who work really hard to create beautiful integrations that create a more seamless experience for teaching and learning. So before we get into the specifics there, again, I just wanted to say hi. As Stephanie noted, I am responsible for all things partnership at Instructure. So I've been with the company for almost 4 years now, and I've been in the education industry for a decade or more. And it's really been a work of passion. I feel that technology, in a way that really it didn't exist when I was going through school, now has the power to touch so many different students and create efficiencies for instructors and teachers and administrators in ways that just never was available before. So I feel honored to have the ability to work with so many different companies out there that we partner with to create seamless learning experiences that ultimately create those efficiencies. So today, during this brief introductory session, here are a couple of the questions that I hope to answer for all of you. Partnerships is a phrase that I think gets thrown around a lot, so I want to make sure that everybody understands when we at Instructure say partner, or when our partners talk about a partnership with us, what does that mean? For us, it's not, again, just a in name only. There's a great foundation there, and that really is born in that next question. What's an open platform? So we in the partnerships team sit in product, and that's done very strategically because we want to make sure that a partnership allows you to do more with Canvas and with a partner solution. And so that goes into the next question: what can apps do for me? So we've been using apps since, I don't know, 2008 on our phones, but there are apps that exist within Canvas as well. And we'll talk about what those are, what they do, and how they can create efficiencies and a better experience for you within Canvas. And then last but not least, what would this session be without some direction on how you can take action, what you can go and do to utilize the things that we talked about today. So with that in mind, I'll just put another reminder in there. As Stephanie noted, we encourage you to ask questions throughout the session today. So type those in as they come up. I know that we'll be waiting until the end to answer those questions, but I find that when you type the question as it's coming up, it will stay there and can be asked at the end. If you wait to type it, you may forget. So just encouraging you to type those in, and we'll get to them at the very end. So here's sort of the order of operations. We'll talk first about platform. We'll talk about openness and what that means to Instructure and really to the whole educational ecosystem. Then we'll move into partnerships, and we'll talk a little bit about some integrated apps. And then throughout the day today, you'll be learning about all kinds of integration. So we're excited to have this opportunity to engage with all of you on Partner Day. So without any further ado, let's talk about platform. You hear this phrase being used a lot in the industry and with Canvas, no doubt. But just to lay the foundation, we'll start with an example that everybody can understand. And it's what you're seeing there on the screen. It may be early where you are, but pizza is good any time of the day. So this example hopefully works for you. So this is a platform. It's not a technology platform, no doubt, but it's a platform for deliciousness. And this platform is comprised of dough, it's comprised of sauce and cheese. And so all of those things together create this platform for deliciousness. But everybody has their own favorite topping, their own favorite addition to that pizza that can help personalize and enhance that pizza eating experience. And it might be that you like pepperoni like so many people do, or maybe you're a little more sophisticated with your tastes and you like a margarita pizza, or you like Hawaiian, or you're a meat lover. Whatever that is, you can throw any topping on that pizza and it personalizes that pizza. It enhances that pizza eating experience. And in much the same way, you can add these toppings or apps or tools to your Canvas experience and create a personalized and enhanced experience. And that can be done all the way up at the top, the account level, so at a district or at an institution, or for an individual course. You can add a tool that personalizes and enhances that experience. So we try to create that platform and allow you to create that personalized, enhanced experience by adding the tools that you need. And we believe firmly in being an open platform for learning. So what does that mean? When I say open platform for learning, what we're talking about is really at the core of what so many people love about Canvas. Yes, we're easy and intuitive. We use modern tools and we're cloud hosted. And there's no doubt we absolutely love our customers, and hopefully all of you feel that. But we also believe firmly in openness. And that manifests itself in a lot of different ways. We've got open APIs. So you can go to api.instructure.com and see all of our APIs are really well documented and available for you to kind of build your own experience. That's what these APIs do. But that is specific to Canvas. And that's great. If there's a specific need that you have, you want to build using our open APIs and create an experience that's specific to Canvas. But the other half of us being open from a partner and platform perspective is a little bit more broad than just our Canvas open APIs. And you might be wondering why there's a picture of a street and traffic signs. But this goes to the heart of open standards. So the first half was that Canvas specific stuff, the open APIs, absolutely crucial to building integrations and us having an open ethos toward partnership. But the other half is this idea of open standards. So think, if you will, about traveling across the country. If you were to get into a car today, I live here in Salt Lake City. Let's say I wanted to drive to Michigan. I'd be going through a whole bunch of different states on my way there. And imagine if every state you went to, you had to stop at the border, go into the welcoming station, and then get a new understanding of what all the signs were for that state, how the traffic lights looked, what markers were in the lanes. It would create a lot of trouble, and would also create a tremendous amount of trouble for any organization that wanted to build these roads or stop signs or traffic lights. But instead, there are standards for the ways that these things are put together. So we don't have to stop on our way from one state to another. We can continue to move along the road and really understand where we're going, because there are standards for the ways that these things are built. And in much the same way, we embrace open standards within Canvas. So one of the most prolific standards is something called LTI, prolific in its adoption. That's put out by the IMS Global Group, and that's an organization that we work really closely with. Their goal is to create standards for interoperability in education. And these standards have been used more broadly than that, but that's really where their focus is, creating standards in learning. And what that means is that if we enable an integration. We work with an organization to build an integration that works with Canvas. If they're using those open standards that we embrace, well, then they can take that integration to other learning management systems, other platforms as well. And that's great for us because we know that our customers will be able to have a great experience. And it also encourages more organizations to build these kinds of integrations, because instead of having to build specific things and maintain and support those integrations for each individual platform, which can be costly, resource intensive, instead, they build to the standard and have the ability to leverage that integration with a variety of platforms. So I'd like to show you what I mean with an example from the Edu App Center. So if you haven't been to eduappcenter.com, this is a site that we built and we maintain today. But if you go there, you won't see any kind of Instructure or Canvas branding unless you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, where you can see that we built and we maintain this site today. But that was done very intentionally. Our goal, again, was to create a place that created some gravity around the LTI standard, these standards for interoperability, because the more organizations that build to that standard, the better for us, for our customers, but also for the educational industry as a whole. And so we've seen that grow from what was seeded at, I think, about 15 apps when the Edu App Center launched just a few years ago, to now 300 apps that exist within the Edu App Center. So really powerful. And we actually leverage APIs from this site to create the App Center that exists within Canvas. So I'll show you what that looks like here. And you can go there yourself to eduappcenter.com. But if you've been to the App Center that exists within Canvas, this looks relatively familiar to you. And that's, again, because we use APIs from the site to create the App Center that exists within Canvas. And again, all of the apps that you see in here utilize the LTI standard. And what that is designed to do is really two things. At its core, it's designed to provide a mechanism for single sign-on. So I don't have to go remember a whole bunch of different usernames and passwords, or have my students remember those things. Instead, I can pass through, just because I'm, by the very nature of being logged into Canvas, I can access a variety of tools. And the other thing is allowing it to visually surface that tool within our platform. So it's, again, it's sort of simple in its idea, right? Single sign-on, visually surfacing something in a platform, but really powerful in that that's when we talk about integration, what we're looking for more often than not. So so I showed you what the example of the Edu App Center looks like. Let's take a look at an actual integration. So on the left, you see without the LTI-enabled integration. On the right, you see with the LTI-enabled integration. This is taking a look at a Khan Academy app, and we're using the Rich Editor button. So you can see on the right, I clicked the Rich Editor button. I'm going through this picker experience. On the left, I had to go to a new tab, go to the site, and go searching for it myself. On the right, I've already got that embedded in my Rich Editor, and I put some context around it and published it. I'm done. So on the left, I'm still posting the link. I could potentially embed it, but more likely I'm going to be directing people to another destination that's going to open a new pop-up window, and there you can see it opens that new tab. On the right, I was out having fun watching YouTube videos, which gosh knows there's not enough time for that anyway. But you've got a lot of other things to do in your coursework as you're building out courses, and so you can imagine how much time it takes if you had to go out to a separate site, find that thing. Once we multiply that by the number of objects you want to put in a given module and the number of modules you're going to have in a given course, it becomes quite time consuming. But by building and enabling these integrations, we can save you quite a bit of time. You can see that they're pretty widely adopted. So a lot of institutions agree with us. This is, I think, about a year old, the statistic, and we've seen a lot more K-12 clients leveraging LTI-enabled integrations. But you can see virtually every institution, 99.3% of colleges and universities, 93.3% of K-12 school clients, so districts and individual schools are leveraging some kind of LTI-enabled tool at the account level. And then there's even more that are leveraging those in the individual class. So really exciting to see that these things are not only being created by so many different organizations out there, but then they're being leveraged by our customers. So that gets us to partnership. So we've got all of these integrations that have been built by a variety of organizations out there. I noted about 300 that exist in the Edu App Center today. But what does partnerships do? What does it do for Instructure? What does it do for our partnering organizations? And what does it do for our customers? So we'll dive into that now. And much like all of the pictures that you see there in the background, we really believe, just like we said at the very beginning of this presentation, that we're better together. What would Batman be without Robin? What would Calvin be without Hobbes? And what would peanut butter be without jelly? The reality of the situation is these things are always better when they're together. And we try to create that experience not only for our partners, but our partners help create that experience for us. And by doing so, we're creating a better experience for you, our customers. So here's just a glimpse at some of our partners. You can see we've got a rather large ecosystem of partners. In fact, today we have about 200 official partners with Instructure, with Canvas. And there's probably organizations here that you've heard of before. There's no doubt organizations here that maybe you've never heard of before. And so our goal is really to provide a breadth of solutions to our customers, provide access to whatever tool you might want to use in your classroom in conjunction with and through Canvas to create a more seamless learning experience. And the reason that we do that is in part to embrace openness. Again, we're not picking a horse. We're not saying this is the solution you must use if you have a video need or you've got a proctoring need within Canvas, but instead we want to embrace the idea of openness, not only through the use of open standards, but also through an open ethos in partnership. We believe that by offering a breadth of options and having an inclusive partner program, we create a better experience not only for our partners and Instructure, but most importantly for our customers. You've got the option to choose the things that you like to use in your classroom and then use them directly through Canvas. It also creates an opportunity for greater visibility. So this is particularly important for those customers that aren't totally sure what problem, or rather what solution they want to use for their problem. So I showed that sort of NASCAR slide with all of our partners on it. Well, there were a number of organizations that probably you had never heard of before. And our program is designed to provide visibility into those tools that maybe you haven't heard of before, but really could help you solve problems that you're experiencing in your class. And so we try to do what we can to create opportunities for discoverability and introduce you to all kinds of tools that exist out there in the ecosystem without pressuring you into choosing a specific tool. Again, that goes back to the idea of openness. And then last, but certainly not least, is the idea of expanding functionality. So when we think about the experience that you have in Canvas and the product that we've created with Canvas, you recognize it does a lot of things for you at your institution, at your district, but it doesn't do everything, and it never really will do everything. That's not our intent. We don't want to have every single feature, every vertical that exists out there in the EdTech industry covered by engineers here at Instructure. Instead, we open endpoints that exist within Canvas, and then we let the people that build those tools build integrations with Canvas and allow you to use those things. So in doing so, it expands the functionality of Canvas, and it also expands the functionality of our partners' solutions, because now you can use their solution inside of Canvas and have access to all the great tools that you know and love within Canvas. So it expands functionality, again, for the parties that we consider. You, our customers, our partners, and Instructure. And then last but not least, I want to just touch on when partnerships shine. This is a question that I get pretty regularly. What makes a really great partnership? And the reality of the situation is this is not science. This is all about relationships, and it's all about the same things that may exist in any partnership you have in your own life. It's really about one hand washing the other. That's what makes a great partnership great. We want to work with organizations that want to put skin in the game. They want to roll their sleeves up and really think about the consumer of that integration, the consumer of Canvas, the consumer of their solution, and do what we can to create an experience that's second to none. So sometimes that means that we take that beautiful platform that we talked about at the beginning, again, that cheese pizza representing Canvas, and it means that we work really closely with our partners and get customer feedback and realize, hey, you know what? This will require some changes to Canvas itself, but we think that it will make it better. So we listen really closely to those needs. So taking the pizza example again, somebody might say, you know what? There's an absolute need for more sauce, more cheese. And thus the Chicago style deep dish is born, right? And so we've done that within Canvas with collaborations. We opened that part of Canvas up because we heard about the kind of the pains that were being experienced with that particular part of Canvas. And we thought, you know what, if we work really close with our partners, we can actually change our platform and allow for a better experience for our customers and allow for greater and more integrations within Canvas. And similarly, we see here, cheese in the crust. Not everybody's a fan of this, but at the end of the day, it was a great idea. It's been used by a number of pizza makers out there. And this could be similar to what we heard around the need for deep linking into content. So we created something called resource selection. It's now a part of the IMS LTI standard called content item, and it's used by a lot of different resource providers out there. In fact, it's originated with content, but now it's used by so many different kinds of tools that it's just really amazing. So again, thinking about changing the way that our platform works based on customer feedback, based on feedback from partners. But we have to be very selective. And so it's really about being thoughtful in the kinds of things that we do and the approach that we take, and working really closely with our partners and working closely with those partners to work closely with our customers to ensure that the feedback that we're getting leads to a better product. Because without doing that, you end up with something like this, which I'm sure some of you are salivating over this, but for me, this doesn't work. And the reality of the situation is we want to make sure that the product that you've always known and loved, that's Canvas, just continues to get better. And we don't simply take things just because we're hearing it from one source. We want to process what the requests are that we're getting from a partner, from a customer, and think about, okay, what's at the core of this problem that's being expressed, and now how can we really intelligently provide a solution that makes the experience better. So with that, we've only got a few minutes left, but I'd just like to leave you with this. I'd love for all of you, as you're having conversations with organizations out there that you work with, advocate for integration. Advocate for the use of open standards, because the reality of the situation is that when you have a tool that you're using in the classroom and it can interoperate with other tools that you're using, whether that's sharing data or simply visually surfacing that tool within a platform like Canvas, you're creating a more seamless experience for your learners and for you as instructors. And ultimately, you're making teaching and learning easier. And technology, when it's really at its best, gets out of the way of teaching and learning and creates a conduit for doing that. So I would encourage all of you to advocate for integration, advocate for the use of open standards, and continue to do what you do every day. And thank you for the work that you do, because it's really important and it matters. So with that, I'll leave you with a couple of ways to get some additional information. As I noted, api.instructure.com and eduappcenter.com. Connect with your CSM for any questions that you have about tools that might or might not integrate. But you can also reach out to me. That's my email address there at the bottom, troy@instructure.com. So with that, and with about 5 minutes left, Stephanie, do we have any questions?
Thank you so much, Troy. We have one question that our participant will post in the event page itself, because it requires navigating to a URL and looking at a blog. So that's something that will be able to follow up on after the event ends. And so far, we don't have any other questions in the chat. I would like to pause for one moment and see if anyone wants to put a question in right now. I have provided the link to the event page, so if you think of something later on, feel free to post it in the comments section of the event page of the community, and then we'll be able to follow up on it. So Troy, with that, I do think that we are ready to wrap up. So I would once again, Troy, very much for coming before the community on Canvas Live today. And I would like to encourage all of you to participate by following live.canvaslms.com so that you could be notified of upcoming partner events. And participate in the Canvas Trivia. There's a partner edition that's launching today, and a winner and winners will get awesome swag. And we hope that you will enjoy the day of partner webinars going on all day today. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending, and have a great day.